Hello everyone and welcome to the Future Desk with MD Labs AI Academy, where we explore how AI is shaping careers, innovation and the future of learning. Today's episode is especially exciting because we are diving into a topic that so many students think about but very few actually act on. How to turn ideas into real startups. And to guide us through this journey, we have with us someone who has been at the forefront of innovation and entrepreneurship for years. We are joined by Dr. Saad Parvez, Associate Professor at the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Head of Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development Center at NIT Srinagar. With decades of experience in industrial engineering, operations management, and mentoring student startups, Dr. Parvez has been instrumental in helping ideas move from classrooms to real-world impact. So to begin with, lots of students have ideas, but they don't know where to start from. In your experience, what really differentiates an idea from a startup opportunity?
Okay, that's a really good question. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me here today. You see, students have ideas, no doubt in that, but not all. So the mindset need to be changed. The student mindset currently is because they look at the job scenario in a very broader way, and they find that no, this is the right time when you have to have those ideas, and then those ideas should solve some problem. Right. So the problem solving is the pivot point where students are actually looking into, especially when they are doing their projects, the project work, or whether it's a minor project or a major project. So they look at the problems first of all, and then based upon the problems which they face, they develop those ideas. Right. And those ideas are very raw, which the students currently have. These ideas need handholding, they need right mentorship, and they need the right direction. So students look at the ideas from the various perspectives. The first perspective of those ideas which the students have, that okay, can this help me in creating a startup? Can this idea give me an opportunity for entrepreneurship in the future? This is one category. And the second category, the students just look it from solving their assignments or their projects, doing their projects so that they do something good for the campus placements and for the placements to come. But our perspective is different because I belong to the realm of innovations where we try to catch those ideas. We try to motivate those students that no, this is the right time where your ideas should be captured in such a way that it gives rise to entrepreneurship and some startups where actually problems are solved. And then this raw idea which the students have, they have to be developed. They have to be nurtured. And this is done not by individuals, but by a team, right. By interdisciplinary team within the campuses and outside the campuses. So that's how exactly the ideas are looked after.
Okay. Sir, since AI is becoming such a powerful tool, how do you see AI changing the way students can build startups compared to earlier times?
AI is very popular. It's there with the students. It's very powerful. And AI is the future. It's very important. And students do realize it. They have the realization that no, AI is taking over. To understand this further, we need to make emphasis on the various stages of AI. If you look at general experts say that AI has 3 stages. One is called as the artificial narrow intelligence. The second is called as the artificial general intelligence. And the third category is called as the artificial superior intelligence. We, at this stage, are at the first level, the artificial narrow intelligence. But the future, the near future is the artificial general intelligence. And the future which most of the AI experts, they are looking is the artificial superior intelligence. As far as the students are concerned, they are concentrating on the first level, which a lot of students, a lot of innovators, a lot of those creative people, innovators, idea generators have used AI in the first category, and they are using it. Most of the solutions which we see today, they belong to the first category. Which is the ANI. So this narrow intelligence solve a number of problems, and where the machine learning takes place to look at one type of problem. Say, for example, you know that we have self-driving cars. So
Tesla
they belong,
cars.
yes, the Tesla cars, which are very, very widely used in the West today, and most probably another
Decade or so.
few years we might have them also running in India, but the difficulties are much more because the traffic conditions have to be simulated first of all.
Yes.
And then students, solve problems. Say, for example, let me give you an example that the first category is the small problems where AI applications are adopted to train the machines, develop robots which can solve problems. Say, for example, if you look at the normal gadgets which we are using, our air conditioners, our washing machines, they have that small fraction of AI component into it. Now let's talk about the healthcare, where a lot of AI is being considered, a lot of work is being done on artificial intelligence to solve the problems. The identification of diseases, it's very important now. There's research going on. Even a few days back, I was talking to my colleague who is the head of the Department of Computer Sciences. He happened to visit the SKIMS hospital, and then they are looking to create a digital twin where actually the heart conditions can be simulated on the computer. And if I have something fitted with me, and then it can create a virtual image on a computer, whatever the heart conditions are, they can be simulated. And whenever something goes wrong with your heart, the indications are given beforehand, and then corrective actions can be taken. The patient can know, the doctors can know that something wrong is going to happen. So this is how exactly the level of AI is intervening in our day-to-day learning and in solving problems. Manufacturing, already we have a lot of AI intervention. If you look at the automobile industry, most of the AI-powered robots are used for performing operations, for performing welding operations, for performing machining operations, where we try to improve the productivity, where we try to improve the quality of the product being manufactured. And a lot of students too are related to such kind of problem solutions, where they are working in these small areas, projects. Coming back to the agriculture, a lot of AI intervention is already taking place. Very recently, the few students from NIT Srinagar, they came up with an idea that in horticulture, the problem we find in our apples, for example, is that we are unable to detect the disease which the orchards can have at any instant of time. So based upon this problem identification, he developed he trained a model where we taken, image processing was done, and then based on the cameras fitted in the orchards, we captured the images of the leaf, actually, the leaf when they start budding out, the buds, in early spring. So the disease onset takes place during that time. So if we are able to model, we have a model, and when we were able to match the current scenario of the growth of a leaf or a tree or an apple, and then any mismatch is there, so that indication is given to the farmers that, this is a time where you have to do some spraying business and then prevent that disease which might occur if action is not taken. So these are the wide applications where actually today's industries are looking for, and students being very creative at a young age, they're trying to solve such problems. There are hundreds of problems which the students actually come up with, health, as I told you, health, agriculture, industry, manufacturing, in transportation, in mobility, if we say, there was a startup who is connected to us. He is using AI to translate the need of a passenger who wants to, a customer who wants to take a taxi, who wants to book a cab, and then he wants to go from a place X to place Y. So what he is doing, he's trying to, because in villages people are not very savvy, they are not tech savvy, and then they would like to speak in their own language, in their Kashmiri or whatever it is, and then your mobile app, which is AI based, will pick up, communicate to the nearest driver, and then translate that voice command into the text command, and then inform the nearest driver to come and pick up the passengers. It's all AI monitored, AI driven. So this is how exactly the problems of today are being looked by the students.
So my next question will be for a student who is sitting in a classroom right now. Maybe he has no technical background. What are the steps exactly he should take if he wants to build an AI-based startup?
That's indeed a good question, because for the reason that the problems are very diversified, and then we have other engineering branches also, like we have mechanical, we have electrical, civil, chemical, metallurgy, where the students are not quite AI savvy. They don't have any kind of curriculum where actually the institutions or the colleges teach them AI. But if you are solving a problem based on AI, they need to brush their skills. That's very, very important. So skill development becomes a very important tool. Either they should join some skill development course, AI-based, do the learning, and once you have that skill, you can come up with the model building in a better way. So my suggestion to those students who are from different areas is that they need to create
a skill
of their own. It's very, very important. They need to join those private organizations who are into the AI imparting, the skill imparting education, and that's how exactly they can be relevant if they want to solve the problems. Otherwise, you see, if they happen to hire people who are, that will be very costly affairs, because developers we used to see that whenever coding had to be done, we used developers. Aaj AI ne wo problem solve just solve that problem.
Right.
But the AI skill is of a paramount importance. It's very important. So they need to be very skillful. They need to develop the life skills. They need to develop the technical skills. They need to develop the creative skills. And then only once these skills are there, they would be able to solve problems.
Sir, at the IIEDC, you have mentored and supported lots of student startups. We would like to share you with us one such startup or innovation that stood out till now.
That's a good question, actually. There are many students coming up with different ideas. We are into innovations through, as far as NIT Srinagar is concerned, we have an Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. And then second, we have a Innovator Incubation Foundation. It's a Section 8 company in itself. And then also this company provides hand-holding and financial assistance to a few startups actually who are into any innovation domain. But AI, mostly there are students who are coming up. So a couple of examples of AI. These are the students' ideas, how exactly they came up with those ideas, and they wanted to develop those ideas. So there was a group of students from computer science who came to IIED Center a couple of years back. And then one of the problems which they envisaged was that the ATMs which we have, the banks which use the CCTVs, they are just dormant devices. They don't have any power to
capture the thief.
Yes. So what these cameras actually do, they capture the image, and then if, say, for example, some untoward incident has taken place, the police would come and they would look into it, investigate it, and use it as an investigation tool. But they came up with a very brilliant idea that can we power it through AI? Can we make it more active? That we would like to prevent the criminal act before it's committed. It was prevention, So it was a generative type of AI. So what they did, they trained a model where actually they made the model in such a way that it used to capture the image of the body language and the gestures which a common person would make use in approaching, coming into an ATM and withdrawing money. So the point is very simple, that when a thief or when a person with some criminal mind comes, his body gestures would be very different. His blood pressure would be different. His, the movement, the eye movements, the body language would behave in a very different way. And this is the point where actually the AI-powered camera, would capture him, and before any such act is committed, it would raise an alarm and prevent the crime to happen. So this is one instant which really inspired us, and then we did we connect them to some relevant AI trainers, and then they left. They mostly a couple of them had to go to Australia, and then perhaps I don't know what is the current situation, but that was how exactly, because these students are there for only 3 to 4 years, and then it's very difficult such ideas to develop them and to market them. To commercialize these ideas, it takes long time. But they are still working into it. And the one which I told you, there was one innovator who wanted to develop a model to solve the horticulture, the same, so disease detection problem. So there are, students who are approaching us with different ideas in agriculture, in transportation. As I told you, I gave you one example where one startup is solving the problem where the mobility, booking a cab would made very easy, taking into consideration that the current apps are very difficult for those people who are not savvy, who are not, tech savvy. So for them, a simple voice command would be given to your mobile app with the press of the button, and then AI would take control of everything. He would go to the nearest, the signals would flow to the nearest, cab, and then it would translate it, find out the location, and take the cab, bring the cab to his location. So those are some of the important AI. In medical health, there was one student, very important, how exactly the thought process is going on based on the AI. So the student actually came with us, and then he told that in healthcare, the disease detection is a very important component where people are working, where AI tools are being developed. So he discussed with us that most of the diagnosis which is done is quite late. Diagnosis of a disease, if it's asymptomatic, would create a lot of problems, especially though the carcinogenic diseases, we are unable to detect them. So can we have some kind of AI model which could be trained based upon the big data, where actually, and then some small device fitted in the human body which can capture the conditions, maybe the cell conditions. So say, for example, there are some degeneration of the cells, because once we talk about the cancer, there is a mutation, the cell mutation takes place, and then slowly it spreads, but at the later stage it spreads very fastly. So can we detect the mutation of the cells early? And then once it is done, there's a virtual image which is there, and the communication is given to the virtual image, and it can identify that there's a mutation going on, maybe at the stage 1, and then he can know about it. There's something is going wrong in my body, and then can go to the doctor and get the corrective action done. Maybe at the early stages, you can always treat such diseases at a very faster pace. But once this disease goes to the second stage, it becomes very difficult for the doctors even. So that's where revolution is happening. Actually, a lot of work is going on. So these ideas are there with the students, but it needs a collective effort. Students alone cannot solve this problem. It needs all the stakeholders who are into AI. They need to come together. They need to sit together and look at those critical problems, which can really ease out the life of the people. And that's how exactly we are looking forward.
Right, sir. Okay, so my last question will be, looking ahead, what kind of skills, or I should say mindset, a student should have today so that he can succeed in what I call as AI-driven ecosystem? What are the steps he or she should inculcate right today so that he succeeds in this ecosystem?
That's really a good question. The most important thing is, when we talk about AI, we talk about the AI as a future. The first step is the mindset.
Yes.
You see, if the mindset doesn't change, most of the problems cannot be solved. So, the mindset which the students have to inbuilt in themselves, whether it's an inbuilding process or it's an outbuilding process, where the peers, the teachers, the experts have to build those systems, that those ecosystems have to be built up. So it's very important. The first thing is the skill. So mindset, that he has to solve the problem. Mindset, he has to acquire those relevant skills, and then mindset that he has not only to do it just for the heck of doing it, just for the heck of solving a problem given by the teacher, or meeting the end goals of his project. That is not favorable. So the thing which is favorable is that, can I become a startup? Can I give something, some kind of innovation to the society which can solve a problem? So that mindset has to be there. So
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
thank you so
For
much.
your such valuable insights. It was an honor for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and best of luck for all those who are into AI.
Thank you, sir. And to all our listeners, whether you are from a technical background or not, the opportunity to build, innovate, and create impact has never been more accessible. At MD Labs AI Academy, we are committed to helping students bridge the exact gap, from learning concepts to building real-world solutions. If today's conversation inspired you, this is your sign to start, even if it is small. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.